You woke up today inside a Roman invention. You didn't notice it. You didn't question it. You simply lived inside it. The road beneath your feet follows Roman logic. The laws you obey trace Roman thinking. The buildings you trust stand on Roman engineering principles. Even the idea of citizenship itself comes from Rome. And yet, Rome is treated like ancient history, as if it disappeared. It didn't. Rome didn't fall the way people imagine. It didn't vanish into dust and ruins. It dissolved into systems, spread into institutions, and embedded itself into civilizations so deeply that removing it would collapse the modern world. Rome didn't conquer the future with armies. It conquered it with structure. 2,000 years ago, Rome was not trying to build a legacy. It was trying to solve problems. How do you govern millions of people who don't share blood, language, or culture? How do you maintain order without constant violence? How do you make power survive beyond one ruler's lifetime? Every solution Rome created still runs in the background of your life today. Before Rome, power was personal. Kings ruled because they were born to rule. Authority came from lineage, religion, or brute force. If the king died, the system collapsed. Rome saw that weakness and rejected it. Instead of asking who should rule, Rome asked how rule should function. That question changed everything. Rome understood a hard truth about human nature. People are flawed. Leaders become corrupt. Power attracts ambition. So instead of trusting men, Rome trusted systems. They wrote laws down so memory couldn't be manipulated. They created offices so power could be transferred. They divided authority so no single individual could dominate the whole structure. This wasn't morality, it was survival. Rome did not believe leaders were good. It assumed leaders would eventually abuse power. That assumption shaped the Roman Republic. Power was distributed across consuls, senators, assemblies, and courts. Each part limited the others. Decision-making slowed down intentionally. Speed creates mistakes. Delay creates stability. Modern democracies still copy this design because nothing more durable has replaced it. The Roman Senate was not a symbol, it was a control mechanism. Debate wasn't about virtue, it was about preventing chaos. And that logic echoes today in legislative chambers around the world. But Rome's greatest weapon was not political structure, it was law. Before Roman law, justice was inconsistent. Rules changed depending on who you were. Status defined truth, power defined guilt. Rome replaced that disorder with predictability. Laws were written, displayed publicly, applied through courts. This changed everything. For the first time, citizens could know the rules before they were punished by them. The idea that a person is innocent until proven guilty is not a modern invention, it is Roman logic. Contracts became enforceable, property became protected, citizenship gained meaning. Rome understood something fundamental. Fear forces obedience, but law creates trust. People obey systems when they believe the rules apply to everyone. That trust allowed Rome to govern vast territories without constant rebellion. The legal frameworks used in American, European, and Canadian courts still rely on Roman reasoning. Judges still interpret law the way Roman jurists once did. Rome didn't invent justice, it systematized it. But law alone cannot hold an empire together. Movement matters. Rome understood that control depends on connection, so they built roads. Not paths, not trails, engineered highways. Straight lines cutting across mountains, forests, and enemy land. Layered stone designed for durability. Routes built to move armies, goods, and information faster than any rival. Some Roman roads still are in use today. That is not accidental. Rome didn't build for decades, it built for centuries. An empire that moves faster than its enemies wins before the battle begins. Water followed those roads. Aqueducts carried clean water across valleys and hills using gravity alone. No electricity, no pumps, no modern tools, just observation, mathematics, and patience.
Clean water reduced disease. Public baths improved hygiene. Sewage systems protected cities. Rome understood public health long before science gave it a name. Urban planning followed the same logic. Cities were organized, not organic. Grids replaced chaos. Forums replaced tribal gathering spaces. Rome didn't just conquer cities, it taught cities how to function. Modern urban life is Roman design with modern materials. Buildings rose higher because Rome mastered weight distribution. Arches carried loads efficiently. Domes expanded space without collapse. Roman concrete hardened over time instead of weakening. Structures built 2,000 years ago still stand. Modern buildings often don't survive a century. Rome engineered for permanence, not profit. For Rome, engineering wasn't innovation, it was reliability. The military followed the same philosophy. Rome didn't rely on individual heroes, it relied on discipline. Soldiers were trained uniformly, ranks were clearly defined, commands were standardized. Every soldier knew his role, every unit knew its place. Logistics mattered more than bravery. Supplies were planned before battles began. Roads were built before invasions started. Camps were constructed with precision every night. War was not chaos for Rome, it was administration under pressure. Modern militaries still follow Roman structure because no system has proven more efficient. Rome didn't just teach the world how to fight, it taught the world how to organize force. Language became another form of control. Latin shaped law, medicine, science, and governance. Words like justice, liberty, constitution, senate, and republic are not decorative terms. They are Roman ideas preserved through language. Rome understood that language shapes thought. If you control the words, you influence how people understand reality. Even belief systems followed Roman structure. Christianity did not overthrow Roman organization, it absorbed it. Hierarchy, administration, territory. Religion survived because Rome taught it how to organize power. But Rome was not immortal. Slowly, the systems that built the empire began to weaken. Wealth concentrated into fewer hands. Currency lost value through manipulation. Politics became performance rather than responsibility. Civic duty faded. People stopped believing in the system. Rome didn't collapse overnight, it decayed gradually. Empires rarely fall from external attack alone, they rot internally. Rome's greatest lesson is not its rise, it is its warning. No system survives corruption from within. Infrastructure cracks, law loses legitimacy, citizens stop trusting institutions. And yet, Rome still won, because although the empire fell, the civilization survived. Every modern nation that uses law instead of kings, systems instead of personalities, and infrastructure instead of chaos is living inside Rome's legacy. Rome is not behind us, it is beneath us, and the world you live in today was designed by people who died 2,000 years ago but never truly lost power.
Rome's power was never accidental. It was calculated, tested, and refined across generations. Where other civilizations relied on tradition or divine authority, Rome relied on repetition. If something worked, it was standardized. If it failed, it was replaced. Rome treated civilization like an experiment that never stopped running. This mindset changed how power behaved. Rome understood that loyalty could not be forced forever. Fear creates silence, but silence is temporary. So Rome learned to manufacture consent, not through kindness, but through predictability. If people knew what to expect from the system, they were less likely to resist it. Citizenship became a tool. Rome did something radical for its time. It extended citizenship beyond bloodlines. Conquered peoples were not always destroyed. Many were absorbed, given legal status, given protection, given a stake in the system. This was not generosity, it was strategy. A person who benefits from a system will defend it. Rome didn't erase identities, it layered Roman identity on top of them. Local customs were tolerated as long as Roman law was respected. Taxes were paid, order was maintained. This flexibility allowed Rome to expand without constant rebellion. Rome was not trying to make everyone Roman, it was trying to make everyone invested. Economics played a critical role. Rome understood that money is not wealth, trust is wealth. Currency worked because people believed in it. When belief weakened, inflation followed. Rome minted coins stamped with emperors' faces, not for decoration, but for messaging. Every transaction reminded citizens who controlled the system. Money carried authority. Trade networks stretched across continents. Goods flowed along Roman roads and through Roman ports. Grain from Egypt fed Rome. Silver from Spain funded armies. Spices from the East fueled markets. Rome's economy was global before the word existed. But Rome also learned a dangerous lesson. When the state manipulates currency to cover its failures, the system begins to crack. Debasement of coins reduced trust, prices rose, confidence fell. The economy weakened quietly long before collapse became visible. Rome teaches that economic decay is often invisible at first. People feel it before they understand it. Administration held the empire together. Rome was obsessed with records, census data, tax rolls, legal documents, military reports. Nothing powerful exists without paperwork. Governors were appointed, monitored, and replaced. Corruption existed, but it was tracked. Rome didn't expect honesty, it expected accountability. Bureaucracy became the skeleton of the empire. Modern governments still rely on this Roman invention. Paperwork is not inefficiency, it is control. Rome knew that systems fail when information disappears. Communication moved faster than ever before. Messengers traveled along roads designed for speed. Military updates reached Rome quickly. Decisions were centralized, even across vast distances. This allowed Rome to respond faster than its rivals. Speed of information became a weapon. Culture reinforced the system. Public spectacles distracted the population. Games, races, and festivals created emotional release. Entertainment wasn't meaningless, it was stabilizing. A population that vents publicly is less likely to revolt privately. Rome understood psychology long before it had a name. Architecture reinforced authority. Monuments were not just buildings, they were messages. Size communicated dominance. Stone communicated permanence. Every temple, forum, and amphitheater reminded citizens that Rome was bigger than them. Power was not just exercised, it was displayed. Education reinforced loyalty. Roman children were taught discipline, rhetoric, and civic duty. They learned how to speak, argue, and persuade. Leadership required communication. Rome trained its elites to maintain the system, not challenge it. Knowledge became a tool of continuity. But beneath the efficiency, fractures formed. As Rome expanded, complexity increased. Systems that worked for a city struggled to govern an empire. Bureaucracy grew heavy. Decisions slowed. Corruption found more hiding places. Distance weakened accountability. The military changed. Professional soldiers replaced citizen soldiers. Loyalty shifted from the republic to commanders who paid them. Power drifted. Rome didn't notice the shift immediately. Systems rarely collapse loudly at first. They drift. Political ambition intensified. Offices became stepping stones rather than responsibilities. Public service turned into performance. The republic weakened quietly while still appearing strong. People stopped believing participation mattered. That belief is fatal to any system. The law remained, but trust eroded. When laws are no longer seen as fair, they become tools of resentment. Rome's legal brilliance could not save it from moral decay. Infrastructure aged, maintenance declined, roads cracked, aqueducts failed. Empires don't collapse when they stop building, they collapse when they stop maintaining. External threats exploited internal weakness.
Rome didn't fall because its enemies grew stronger. It fell because its systems grew fragile. And yet, even in decline, Rome's ideas survived. Invaders adopted Roman law. Kings adopted Roman administration. Churches adopted Roman hierarchy. The empire disappeared, but the blueprint remained. Europe rebuilt itself using Roman logic. Later, the modern West inherited it. Rome became invisible because it became normal. This is Rome's true legacy. Not ruins, not statues, not textbooks. Systems. The way power is organized, the way law functions, the way cities operate, the way authority communicates. Rome teaches that civilization is not about greatness, it is about durability. The strongest systems are not perfect, they are adaptable. Rome adapted longer than any empire before it. That is why its influence never truly ended. The Roman Empire died, but Roman civilization became the foundation of the modern world. And every society that believes it is immune to Rome's mistakes is already repeating them.
Rome's survival after its own collapse is not accidental. It is proof that power does not depend on borders. It depends on ideas that outlive the people who create them. When the Roman Empire fractured, its enemies did not destroy Roman systems, they inherited them. They used Roman law to rule, Roman roads to move, Roman bureaucracy to govern. Rome became the silent architecture beneath new kingdoms. This is how true power works. It does not announce itself, it becomes invisible. The Middle Ages were not a rejection of Rome, they were a continuation of it under different names. Kings ruled, but Roman administration guided them. The church rose, but it was organized like an empire. Bishops replaced governors, dioceses replaced provinces. Even the idea of universal authority survived through Roman thinking. Control territory, control belief, control law. The Renaissance did not rediscover Rome, it remembered it. Scholars returned to Roman texts not out of nostalgia, but necessity. They needed frameworks that worked. Rome had already solved problems modern society still faced: governance, law, infrastructure, military organization. The modern nation-state was built using Roman logic. When the United States was founded, its architects did not look forward, they looked backward to Rome. The Senate, the Republic, the rule of law, written constitutions, civic duty, these were not experiments, they were tested systems. Rome taught the modern world that freedom requires structure. Without it, power collapses into chaos. Rome also taught that systems can outlive morality. The same structures that protect citizens can be used to control them. Bureaucracy does not care who it serves, it only needs direction. This is Rome's most dangerous lesson. Efficiency can exist without justice. Rome mastered administration so well that it could function even when its values decayed. That allowed corruption to spread unnoticed. Modern societies face the same risk. When people trust systems blindly, they stop questioning outcomes. Rome understood human psychology better than any ancient civilization. Public identity mattered more than private belief. Loyalty was displayed publicly. Participation signaled obedience. Dissent was isolated. Modern systems use similar logic. Participation is tracked. Compliance is measured. Order is maintained not through violence, but through normalization. Rome normalized obedience. Citizens followed rules not because they feared punishment, but because the system felt inevitable. That is how empires truly win. Culture reinforced compliance. Art celebrated order. Architecture glorified authority. Public rituals reinforced unity. Rome didn't need constant propaganda. Its presence alone was persuasive. Power that feels permanent discourages resistance, but permanence is an illusion. Rome eventually faced a contradiction it could not resolve. Its systems demanded loyalty, but its leadership failed to earn it. When corruption becomes visible, belief collapses quickly. Rome's people did not revolt immediately, they withdrew emotionally. Civic participation declined, military service became transactional, public trust eroded. A society does not collapse when people are angry, it collapses when people stop caring.
Rome's decline teaches that disengagement is more dangerous than rebellion. Economic pressure intensified the problem. As inequality grew, opportunity narrowed. The system that once rewarded contribution began rewarding proximity to power. People felt excluded from a system that once included them. That feeling spreads faster than any ideology. Rome attempted reform too late. Laws multiplied, bureaucracy expanded, control tightened. But control without legitimacy accelerates collapse. Rome mistook order for stability. The difference matters. Order can be enforced, stability must be believed. Rome lost belief. And yet, even as the empire weakened, its ideas continued migrating forward. Legal scholars preserved Roman law, architects preserved Roman engineering, administrators preserved Roman organization. Rome survived because it embedded itself into civilization's foundation. This is why modern crises feel familiar. Currency manipulation, political polarization, infrastructure decay, loss of trust. Rome has been here before. History does not repeat because humans are foolish. It repeats because systems create predictable outcomes. Rome reveals that progress does not erase human nature. Technology changes, behavior does not. Rome also reveals something else. No civilization collapses while it still believes in itself. Rome fell when belief fractured. Modern societies should pay attention to that lesson. Because Rome did not fall in one moment, it faded. And fading is harder to recognize than collapse. Rome's final contribution was not its greatness, it was its warning. That systems must be renewed, that power must be accountable, that infrastructure must be maintained, that belief must be earned. Rome teaches that civilization is fragile, not because it is weak, but because it relies on trust, and trust once lost is difficult to restore. Yet Rome remains everywhere, in courts, in governments, in cities, in armies, in language. Rome is not history, Rome is structure, and structure shapes the future whether people understand it or not. That is why Rome still matters, because the modern world is not separate from Rome. It is Rome continuing under new names.
Rome's greatest illusion was that it believed permanence was guaranteed. Its systems were so refined, so deeply embedded, that it mistook endurance for immortality. That mistake is not unique to Rome. Every civilization that inherits Roman logic risks repeating Roman arrogance. Rome believed that because its roads reached everywhere, its influence would never weaken. Because its laws were copied, its authority would never fade. Because its institutions outlived emperors, its civilization would never truly die. But Rome misunderstood one thing. Systems do not fail when they stop working. They fail when people stop believing in them. By the time Rome recognized this, belief had already eroded. Citizens still followed the law, but without loyalty. Soldiers still fought, but for pay, not purpose. Officials still governed, but for position, not responsibility. The system remained operational, but hollow. This is the most dangerous phase of any civilization, when everything appears normal, but nothing feels meaningful. Rome continued collecting taxes, it continued issuing laws, it continued enforcing order, but the shared identity that once held the empire together dissolved. Rome no longer felt inevitable, and when power stops feeling inevitable, it becomes vulnerable. The collapse that followed was not dramatic. There was no single moment where Rome ended, no final breath, no clear conclusion. Instead, there was silence. Cities emptied, roads decayed, administration slowed, authority fragmented. Rome did not fall, it faded. Yet even in fading, Rome shaped what came next. The so-called barbarian kingdoms that replaced Rome adopted Roman law to legitimize their rule. They copied Roman administration to control territory. They relied on Roman infrastructure to maintain order. Rome's conquerors became its students. This is the final proof of Rome's dominance.
You can defeat an empire, but if you adopt its systems, you extend its life. Rome understood power so completely that even its enemies could not imagine ruling without it. That is why Rome never truly disappeared. It transformed. The medieval world carried Roman bones beneath its surface. The Renaissance polished Roman ideas and gave them new language. The modern world institutionalized Roman systems at scale. Democracy, republics, constitutions, courts, armies, cities, none of these emerged from nothing. They are Roman echoes. Rome's influence is strongest where it is least visible, because when something becomes normal, it becomes unquestioned. And unquestioned systems are the most powerful systems of all. This is why Rome still matters, not because of what it was, but because of what it revealed. Rome revealed that civilization is not built on morality, it is built on structure. Morality inspires, structure governs. Rome also revealed that structure without accountability decays. No system self-corrects forever. No institution remains healthy without renewal. Rome's decline was not caused by ignorance, it was caused by complacency. The belief that what worked before would work forever. This is Rome's warning to the modern world. Infrastructure must be maintained. Law must remain legitimate. Power must be restrained. Citizens must believe participation matters. When belief disappears, collapse becomes a matter of time. Rome teaches us that history does not punish evil, it punishes neglect. And yet, Rome also offers a different lesson, that ideas outlive empires, that systems shape centuries, that influence does not require survival. Rome lost control of its borders, but gained control of history. The world today is not post-Roman, it is neo-Roman. We live under Roman assumptions. We organize power the Roman way. We resolve disputes using Roman logic. We build cities using Roman principles. Even when we believe we are modern, we are ancient. Rome whispers through every institution we trust. That is why understanding Rome is not academic, it is practical. Because if you understand Rome, you understand power. If you understand power, you understand the present. And if you understand the present, you can see the future forming. This is why the hidden ledger exists. Not to glorify empires, not to romanticize the past, but to expose the systems that quietly shape our lives. History is not a collection of dates, it is a record of patterns. Patterns of rise, patterns of decay, patterns of control. Rome is not unique because it was powerful. Rome is unique because it was instructional. It left behind a manual for civilization, and humanity keeps reading it, whether consciously or not. The Roman Empire fell, but Roman civilization won. It won because it taught the world how to organize reality itself. And as long as systems matter more than individuals, Rome will remain alive. Not in ruins, but in rules. If you want to understand how civilizations really work, how power hides inside systems, and why history keeps repeating itself under different names, subscribe to The Hidden Ledger. Because history doesn't lie, people do.